Imagine you are a detective at a crime scene and you find a single microscopic drop of blood. It contains a DNA, but the sample is so tiny that standard laboratory machines can't even detect it, let alone analyze it. So, the polymerase chain reaction, or a PCR, is arguably the most revolutionary technique in modern molecular biology. It is the underlying technology behind COVID 19 testing, uh, forensic science, evolutionary biology, mapping ancient DNA, and genetic engineering. If you have a 500-page textbook but you only need to study one specific paragraph on page 242, you would not copy the whole book. You would target that exact paragraph and print a billion copies of it. That is exactly what PCR does to massive genome. It targets a specific gene of interest and amplifies it exponentially. So, welcome back to BioMinds, your guide to mastering molecular biology and launching a high growth career in the life sciences. If you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a lecture. Let's get started. So, today we will discuss about the polymerase chain reaction. Okay, to make the DNA copy machine works, nature requires these main ingredients and a precise thermal cycle of heating and cooling. So grab your lab notebooks. Let's break down this molecular toolkit. In 1983, while driving alone on a California highway, scientist Carey Mullis had a simple but a revolutionary idea. He wondered, what if we could make a millions of copies of specific DNA sequence in a disk? That question led to the invention of the polymerase chain reaction, or PCR. By repeatedly copying a target DNA segment, PCR can amplify a single DNA molecule into billions of copies within hours. Today, PCR is one of the most important techniques in the molecular biology, powering genetic research, disease diagnosis, forensic science, and biotechnology. A single thought during nighttime drive changed biology forever. So the first fragment which was amplified using PCR was from the Escherichia coli plasmid PBR322. This PCR machine or this PCR technique works similar to the DNA replication that occurs in our cell. So what happened in the cell while during the DNA replication? So during the DNA replication, the DNA is replicate into two new DNA, two new copies. It will make a two new copies from the DNA. So it is required for cell division. So PCR, the principle behind the PCR is kind of same or similar to that of your DNA replication. So this is in vitro method, and it is an enzymatic synthesis of specific sequences of DNA and cDNA. So basically, what do you require for the PCR to run? It requires enzymes, just like the it's just like in the DNA synthesis, we require DNA polymerase to make a copies. Here also we require a polymerase. It also requires a primers. Okay, so this DNA, this PCR, this is the PCR machine. It is known as a thermal cycler. Why it is known as a thermal cycler? Because DNA replication, when it occurs in a cell, it is a very systematic and very regularized technique, regularized method or a technique that occurs in our cells. We don't require anything for that because our body already have that system in our body. So but doing this in a lab, it requires certain things to maintain. Okay, so we required certain temperature to maintain. Okay, so we have the different steps of the PCR. It requires different temperature. So to maintain that temperature, we require thermal cycler. So this is PCR machine, which is also known as a thermal cycler, that changes with different temperature. So see, these are the three steps of the PCR, denaturation, annealing, and extension. So here you can see denaturation steps require temperature which is 92 to 96 degrees Celsius, where annealing step require 45 to 55 degrees Celsius, extension step require 72 degrees Celsius. So to maintain this temperature, we required something that change the temperature automatically. So this PCR machine or the thermal cycler, it changes according to the temperature of each step. Okay, so here we have the detailed diagram of the PCR. So here we suppose we have the DNA. So what happened in each step of the PCR that we will discuss here. So this is the first step, that is denaturation. Second step, annealing. Third step, elongation or extension. So here we, in the green color, we have our target DNA sequence. Okay, so first step is the denaturation. Denaturation step requires, it works at a 94 to 96 degrees Celsius. So basically in the denaturation step, the double stranded DNA converts into single stranded strands. So this occurs after that, the second step, where annealing means there is a primer that joins at the specific sequence of that target DNA. Okay, so here you can see the red color primers has joined to this two fragments, two strand of the DNA. Next step is the elongation. So elongation will, here our DNA polymerase, or you can say the polymerase comes into the picture, and it will add the nucleotides according to the target DNA sequence. Okay, so it will add the complementary DNA nucleotide to the target DNA, and you will get the two copies from the one. Okay, so how you can count count how much copies you will get after one cycle. So it basically, if you have kept the cycle for 10. Okay, so the formula is amplification is equal to 2 raised to n. So n is your number of cycles of PCR, so 2 raised to 10 means if you put the PCR is on the 10 cycles, so that means 2 raised to n. So after this complete cycle, you will get the 1024 copies of one single DNA. Isn't it amazing? So how much copies you need, it is based on it. That will decide how much cycle you have to keep. So the advantages of and applications of PCRs are, advantages are, it is very valuable because the reaction is highly specific, easily automated, and it's very sensitive, means it will give you very accurate result. So it has application in clinical medicines, diagnosis of genetic disorders, forensic sciences, evolutionary biology, just what I have mentioned in the earlier, like for clinical medicine, like for COVID-19 testings, we have the RT-PCR. It is a type of PCR. Okay, and diagnosis of genetic disorders, any genes which is mutated, you can easily detect by this particular technique. Forensic sciences, you can make many copies from the single drop of blood. Evolutionary biology, like fossils we don't have the actual DNA of that organism, so to identify which organism is that, the fossil, you have to do the DNA analysis. For that, you need to take a multiple copies of that DNA. Okay, so these are the certain applications of DNA. Okay, so thank you. So this is all about the basics of PCR, where we have learned about the steps of the PCR and the little bit of the applications. So in the next session, we will study the in detail components of PCR. What are the different components were required to make that particular reaction occur, master mix preparation, and applications of PCR. As well as I will also tell you, there is one simulation, virtual simulation. I will show that to you so you can understand how this particular PCR occur in the lab. So stay tuned for it. Thank you.